Peace. This is a meat and potato sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is Born to Die. Now, oftentimes in human existence, we think about our demise. Is it going to be painful? Is it going to be in our sleep? And we think about it. And sometimes people can become obsessive because they may have had dreams or a premonition. And we know that in the case of Tupac Shakur, where his brother, his older brother, Mopreem Shakur, was like his brother used to always talk about that he felt his end was coming. Kurt Cobain did the same thing. And the thing about it, the Ancient One in the first Doctor Strange had this very good saying, death is what gives purpose or meaning to life. And that very much is true. And we know that the people of Kemet or Egypt talked about that. And there was one riddle, for those who don't know, in Egyptian mythology, where the Sphinx would test certain people, and if they couldn't answer the riddle, they would get devoured. And it was what walks on all fours in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 at night. And the answer is man, because you go through the cycle of being a baby and exploring. Then you're in your prime as a man or a woman. And then when you are the crone or the elder, you walk with a cane. So you have to know something, that when you are on this path, you are going to have thoughts about that. But as I've always said, angels or demons, they're never going to give you a day. But what they will do is say, well, you haven't really completed the great work. Now, we've heard this term, what is the great work? Let Mentor answer it for you. This is a term that's used in Hermeticism and Thelema. So the great work is when you merge with your holy guardian angel or your daemon, and you work in concert as one. And what you do is, on the mundane plane, Bruce Lee made his transition at 32 years of age, July 20th, 1973, because his apex was Enter the Dragon, which came out 3 weeks after his demise. That was his great work on a mundane level. Or you've seen this with musicians, whether it be Amy Winehouse, Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, and the list goes on. So the great work, when you're an occultist, that's when you're merging and you're integrating your shadow, and you're making the step towards leaving a profound legacy, so other occultists or metaphysicians can just look at it. So when you were born, the clock is ticking. Don't believe me? If you read Psalms 82, verse 6, it tells you, ye are gods. John 10:34 does the same thing, but this is the disclaimer, is that, but you will make your transition as a human. So they saying that's the limitation right there. That is the limitation. And people study, when they deal with numerology, they study the day of their birth, the year, and the month. But what I have found, and I think people should do this, if you have students or if you have people in the craft and you may make a transition, or they record their so-called death day. And I'm going to tell you why, because it's going to tell you a lot. Life and death. Let me give you an example. Sandra Bland made her demise, 28 years of age, July 13th, 2015. Who shares that day? Let me tell you, as the Kobe Bryant of magic. Nathan Bedford Forrest, July 13th, born 1821. Confederate general, but also Grand Wizard in the Ku Klux Klan. I know Charles going to be like, well, where you going with this? Sandra Bland's transition was an occult one. Any occultist and sorcerer knows that there are no such thing as coincidences. There's not. And she even said herself, if anyone tells you I will do something to myself, they're lying. That's it. So when you are dealing with this path, you can even talk to certain spirits and they'll be like, nah, I've done that. They said you've already merged with that, but you have so much more to do. And this is what Bruce Lee was trying to explain to me. You've only scratched the surface. So what you can do is you can add to your occult or arcane portfolio. But when you were dealing with life, you deal with death. And that's why children come here crying, because soon as you escape your mother's womb, the clock is ticking. And this is why you want to leave some type of legacy. And it's not out of ego, and there's nothing wrong with the ego. It's the false ego, which leads to destruction. And the template for that is narcissism. So when you are born, in the beginning, you only know life. But death, as Santa Morte, the bony lady, told me, is always around you. So live your life, leave a legacy. And the most important thing is leave this world better than the way that you found it. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.